If you care about the real mechanics of survival history and not the romantic myths, you're in the right place. Before we go any further, subscribe to the Legacy of Survival channel and share this video with someone who studies military history or cold weather survival seriously. What we're about to cover is one of those overlooked wartime innovations that quietly saved thousands of lives, and once you understand it, you'll never think about cold weather gear the same way again. For the next minute, stay with me closely. In World War II, soldiers froze to death, not because they lacked heavy coats, but because armies misunderstood how the body loses heat. Blankets were useless on the move. Thick overcoats trapped moisture. Layering theory was primitive. Then came a thin, unassuming jacket liner that, well, rewrote the rules. It wasn't bulky, it wasn't glamorous, but it worked when everything else failed. And the reasons why matter just as much today for survivalists, mountaineers, and historians trying to understand how war reshapes technology under pressure. Why did traditional coats and blankets fail soldiers in real combat conditions? By 1941, both the United States Army and European forces had learned the hard way that weight and thickness did not equal warmth. Wool greatcoats absorbed sweat, rain, and snow. Once wet, they became heat sinks. Blankets helped only when stationary, and soldiers in combat rarely stopped moving long enough to benefit. Worse still, wet wool caused trench foot and frostbite when temperatures dropped suddenly. Commanders noticed something disturbing. Men wearing less bulk but staying dry survived longer than men wrapped in heavy layers. This forced militaries to rethink insulation itself, not as a shell, but as a system. The thin liner that changed everything was about insulation, not armour. The breakthrough came with jacket liners made from high loft-pile fabrics, often alpaca or wool blends, stitched onto lightweight cotton shells. The most influential versions appeared inside US field jackets, particularly the later M-series systems, and similar concepts emerged in British and German cold-weather gear. The genius was not warmth alone, but trapped air. These liners created thousands of tiny air pockets while allowing moisture to escape. Air insulates, water kills insulation. That principle is obvious now, but it was revolutionary then. Instead of one heavy coat, soldiers wore a shell for wind and rain, with a removable liner underneath. When marching, the liner could be removed to prevent sweating. When stationary, it went back on. This flexibility saved lives. Veterans' accounts show that experienced troops learned to regulate heat aggressively. March cold, stop warm. A liner allowed exactly that. A soldier could strip down during exertion, stay dry, then insulate instantly during rest or sentry duty. This reduced frostbite dramatically during campaigns in Italy, the Ardennes, and Korea shortly after the Second World War. German mountain troops used similar principles with layered pile garments, while Soviet forces relied on quilted liners beneath shells. Despite ideological differences, the physics of survival forced convergence. The liner's real advantage was not heat generation, but moisture control. Sweat freezes faster than ambient cold. Once clothing is wet, the body burns calories rapidly to stay warm. Thin liners dried faster than thick coats and could be worn closer to the body, reducing condensation. This is why modern outdoor systems still use fleece and synthetic pile that directly trace their lineage to World War II designs. If you study this closely, you'll notice that the liner concept didn't disappear after the war. It evolved into modern mid-layers, from military ECWCS systems to civilian cold-weather hiking gear. The lesson here is practical and immediate. Do not rely on single heavy garments in cold environments. Use a modular system. Keep an insulating layer separate from your weather shell. Manage sweat deliberately. If you're hiking, hunting, or preparing for winter emergencies, practice removing insulation before exertion and restoring it during rest. Carrying a lightweight liner or fleece that can dry quickly will outperform a heavy jacket every time. Even in urban emergencies, power outages in winter demand the same logic. Dry layers, trapped air, and wind protection matter more than weight or thickness. Why this liner represents wartime intelligence at its best. This was not accidental innovation. It was data-driven adaptation under pressure. Armies studied frostbite rates, casualty reports, and equipment failures. The liner was the result of observation, iteration, and brutal necessity. It represents a rare moment when military bureaucracy listened to frontline experience and acted fast enough to matter. For historians, this is a reminder that survival technologies often advance faster than weapons. For survivalists, it's proof that understanding principles beats chasing gear. If this kind of deep, practical history matters to you, subscribe to Legacy of Survival, share this video with fellow researchers and preparedness-minded friends, and keep studying the lessons that war forced humanity to learn the hard way.